That happened to me. But when my parents allowed me to start, the first day or the first year when I went to school, I was given a condition by my father. Knowing the conditions up there, that you, boy, I will now allow you to start school in the following order. If it's Monday you go to school, Tuesday you won't, because you have to go and they give you kettle water. Wednesday, yes. Friday, that happened until it was December on the exam day. I wrote. What do you expect? Because I lost 2 or 3 days without writing exam. Brilliant how you can be, you want to pass. Then during our days again, how these reports were given, they were given from the best to the last one, obviously who will be the worst one. I was the worstest. Then at one time, one teacher possibly spotted me, and he came to me realizing that it seemed that I'm dropped, or rather I have dropped. He tried to comfort me. No, don't worry. You know, it's only that way you write, you have done well. It's only because of these gaps that you couldn't fill. That teacher made me to cry. That apparently I felt because I didn't manage to write all the subjects. I cried. I cannot remember whether that was the last day I've cried, but I know I cried. There comes next year. Maybe teachers gave a consideration to say, this boy, I think he seemed to be good. Why don't we push him to the next standard, as it were? I was pushed. I must tell you, never, ever have I failed again. Never, ever. Because I took that as an opportune moment. I wish my parents again could be here so they listen how I came to be what I am today. I ended up in Ongwejiva, early 70s. When we went there, the learning environment was so bad. Because you are taught by the white teachers, whom you know, they are the colonizers. And they ended up teaching us, while teaching, here's a rifle here. So that those of you who misbehave, the rifle is just nearby here. The environment was so bad. That learning environment was so bad. Because God is great, 74, doors get opened between our borders, Angola and Namibia. I don't want to tell you why opened, but I know you are students of history. You must know how it happened. That was another opportune moment that the majority of young people, we have now to flock through Angola, 74. Where were we going to go? Zambia. Without knowing how to go there. But we know there's something called Zambia, and we need to go there because the environment is not good, so that we try to be somewhere, particularly not to rest, but to liberate this country. By that time, I was a boy of, how many are you thinking of 2021? 2021 years of age. Don't look at the ladies or men looking at, no, just Do I have a 2020 face here? 2021 age here? Okay, you don't want to tell me. But the point I want to make, by that time, mature or not mature, we were already in a position to make some critical decisions. To say, we are going to Zambia, get trained, come back, and liberate this country. Why I wanted to ask is because, some of our youngsters today, they are not in a position to make the same decision we have taken during those days. And I fully understand why. It's because the environment is good. We were forced by the environment. You are no longer forced by the environment to leave this country. I was just a boy of 21. My wife, who is today the president of this country, I see. Now I understand what's that you have been waiting for. Because we are all of the same age, she also left while she was 21. And before she left, she was in jail for political reasons. She was already in jail, not a criminal. If it's a criminal, it's a political criminal. Not only that, when the door opened, my wife again was the first ever to leave this country before all of us follow. She was the first. Might be no wonder she's the first president of this country. She was in the company of 4 boys. And she was the leader of that team. Why a leader? It's because, again, she was the Siwapo youth leader in the whole of Ovambuland. The first again. Two of those boys are still alive. 2 sacrificed for this country. When some of us went in exile that time, the most open door which was available to many of us is to go for military training. Few who went for further scholarship. We went for military training. Prof have mentioned about so many places where we have been. I must again tell you that on the 20th of February, 1976, I crossed back with my gun inside Namibia. I crossed back because the whole idea was how to liberate this country. It must not be liberated by anybody else but by us as Namibians. From that time of my training, from that time after I have crossed into Namibia, I never ever had any rest. Because the whole of those years until 1989, it was the actual combat. Don't be sympathetic. I was doing that for the cause. It was just for the good cause. That's why today, like I said, we have this environment created by your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, who made the precious sacrifice of their lives. Sometimes when we sit down and reflect, it's only that those times we had no time to mourn. We had no time to mourn. We had lost a lot of comrades, died under your watch. You can say, my comrade is no more. But that will not prevent you from saying, apparently this war. It will just encourage you. Because the whole idea was independence. Nothing else but independence. After independence is when now have started reflecting and they say, hey, one of my comrades, one of my relatives, one of my what, or they couldn't make it to independence. That is now the time when we started really try to become human when reflecting on that. Here comes independence. We're all here, went for whatever elections. Now, I said, when I left this country, like many others during our days, it's because the environment was not good, including the learning and the study was not good. When we came back, we settled, we liberated the country. One thing that came into my mind, I asked myself, why I haven't gone up to somewhere where others have gone in terms of study now? Does that mean that I was a failure? And they said, no. Was it that I was so dull? I said, then I was not dull at school. Then I made it a point, and they say, what I will do now, by that time, I was the commander of one of our units around the country. And in fact, again, when the South African troops finally, the last troops of South Africa left this country, they were in Walvis, because that Walvis, it was this month when it came back. I was the first commander to take over Walvis. Otherwise, I was the first and the last commander to sit in the trenches of the Boers. When I say finally, Namibia is independent. Then coming to the question of what I asked myself, I was not dull, I was not a failure. Then I mobilized my troops who were under my command and say, why don't we start somewhere going for whatever grade? We started with a grade 10, grade 12. We proceeded further until today I'm a happy general who is a master's degree graduate in strategic studies. I was not doing it for good to pay because I was already a senior officer commanding it, took the Walvis by even from the... So, but I was doing it to have that understanding that I don't want to join a group of people laughing, and apparently they are laughing about me, and I will start joining them laughing about myself. I want to understand the world around me. What of you know Professor Nikondo? Nobody knows. He was one of my soldiers I'm talking about today. Professor Nikondo was one of my soldiers. We started with a grade 10, 11, up to, until today, he's a professor. Nikondo is one of my soldiers who has a big respect of me. Because whatever little happened to, Commander, can you please have a small activities here? Because he has that respect. We were together after whatever time, after work, we were together. And I'm glad. Because, again, I must say, I think out of all the commanders, I'm the only commander who has produced a professor. I'm the only commander of the defense force, Namibia Defense, who has produced a professor. And I feel so good. Of course, the history has been in the making, and this possibly is in the making. Like a professor said, I served in my country from this level until at my retirement. I was the overall commander of the defense force. When we talk about the overall commander, we have 3 branches. The army, those soldiers you see moving around the ground forces. You have the air force, you have the navy in the blue sky or the blue waters. They were all under my command before I retire. Why am I telling you all of this? It's for good reasons. It's because of the invitation I have got from this institution. But all of what I've told you, even to climb the ladder up to that level, it wouldn't have been happened if I haven't gone to school. If I hadn't gone to school, because sometimes you see us as, those, that's why even you will find the parents, my child is a failure, David, NGF doesn't want to take up my child. NGF is not for stupid people. Not at all, not at all, not at all. We are living in the world of advanced technology. How can you, and mind you, in this country, like in all other countries, the only person who can fly the most fastest plane is a soldier, called a pilot. How can you have a stupid flying that jet? If he will take it off the ground, he may not land it, because he may not even know which part is the land. He will get lost up in the sky. Because there it's not a question of looking around, and it's a question of looking at the instruments, what to tell you. If it is NDF is for stupid people who cannot knock a target while the target is in Okahanja, and you knock it while you are here. It is only by people who have gone to school and they get graduated. Therefore, the notion of stupid people must go to NDF, please, it must stop. If NDF was for stupid people, I wouldn't be invited to come here today. How can a professor invite a stupid to come here? To tell you what? Prof, am I stupid? Yeah. That is a kind of just introduction. And you say, oh, you haven't finished that. You are just introducing the what's name. Yes. I haven't started yet. And I'm just about to start. That's the boy I was talking about. That's the boy I was talking about. Yeah. It's too. Oh, yeah. Oh, what is the? Yeah. I want you now, as we go, you must connect the dots as we go. When I was informed, or rather invited, first I thought I was coming to talk to children. But in the process, I realized, if that institution of higher learning, I'm going to talk to mature people. Therefore, what I'm trying to do is try to talk to mature people, not to children. I think I talked too much about my childhood and my brief history at that time. Then from there to a soldier, those are the things I've talked about. Now, we have that bad. Call it whatever name, doesn't matter. But the point I want to talk about, and I have mentioned that my study was on the strategic studies. And the strategic studies is something very, very broad. Depends on whatever specific area you talk about. That gave me an idea and a love always to try to think in the area of leadership and management. And then not only that, because as we are all sitting here, we might all be leaders or managers. But my emphasis always goes to strategic leadership and management. Just to make a clear distinction between a simple leader or a manager, but my area of concentration will always go to strategic leadership and management. I have deliberately picked up this eagle, fish eagle. This creature, to me, is very interesting by nature. Nature made it possible for it to be very interesting for me. Number one, it doesn't, it's not a scavenger. It doesn't pick up whatever is dead there. It catches its own prey. And why particular this one is called fish eagle is because of the fish. So many things now can happen before it catches the fish. I might not even have the whole list, but one thing, it has to locate fish. Where's that fish? Is there fish around here? It must locate that. After it has located the fish, it has now to make a quick decision to understand the speed of the fish. How fast is that fish moving? Not only the speed, how deep is underwater? For all these reasons, if it will make a miscalculation, how deep the fish is, it might end up bumping itself on the water. It is just like you bump on the stone, and it will die. It has to decide on the speed of the fish and the direction to make sure that with my speed up in the sky, I will be able to catch, to meet this fish somewhere there, not where I have spotted it. Now maybe the last calculation is now to say, like I said, how deep is that fish in the water? Now it's now to say, it's a moment now to get my prey, to get my fish. I'm bringing this because it's part of the strategic thinking. It's part of the strategic thinking. If you are not strategic enough, if you are just an eagle and you are not strategic enough, and that's what I mentioned, many of them could have either starved to death because they are not able to catch fish, or they could have died by bumping themselves into water. I said earlier, I don't want to talk to you as I'm talking to school children. I'm talking to people who must be vying to become leaders. Therefore, like I said, connect the dots and you'll get an answer of this motivational speech. As I'm talking about leadership and management again, let me go to say these two, leadership and management, they are some kind of intertwins. You cannot talk about the leadership without talking about the management. But they don't mean the same thing. But to a certain extent, some people get confused, but it's the same thing, man. You want to talk about the leadership, you talk about the management. What made them to be so interlinked where you have a leader, you may also need to have a manager. It might also happen that the rector here is the leader of this institution. Is the leader of this institution. But in my understanding, I know this academic kind of question that is not resolved, and possibly not will be resolved. But at the same time, he's not only a leader, he's also a manager. He's leading, but he's also managing the affairs of this, because you cannot lead the affairs of this institution, but you can lead the people here. But he can also manage the affairs of this institution. And that is what made these two to be so interlinked. There's a thin line between them. I used also to call them that they are mutually inclusive. Mutually inclusive. You cannot do without having one. They all go together. Leadership and management, by their nature of design, deal with numerous but complex issues relating to strategies and the police functions or directives. That made it to be complicated. That's what made them to be so complex. Because when we talk about the strategy, they said, strategy is not like a one size fits all. You know, there were times with our caps, they are fixed. If your head is too small, you can't get into mine. If you said my head is too big, but now you can just adjust to make that. Today's capes, they are one size fits all. But that's not with the same strategy. Strategy is a tailor-made problem solving. That's why you want to find a basket or whatever full of strategies against what? To come up with a strategy, first you have to identify a problem. After the identification of the problem, what strategy must I have to solve this problem? Don't come up, try to come up with a strategy without having identified the problem. Otherwise, that is just an academic exercise playing around with the papers. Strategy must tailor-made to address specific problem. Not a problem to be addressed by strategy somewhere there. That's why they even said, strategy is like a keys. You might have a bunch of keys, but if you don't have the right one to come through here, you won't get in. I'm not talking about breaking in. You won't, until you have the single one which is appropriate to open this door. That's the same with the strategy. If you have to come up with as a leader or a manager, there are some areas you have to critical look at. If you want to come up with a goal, that goal must be measurable. That means at the end of the day, you must sit down and measure the input versus output. This is what I put in? Yes. This is what I got out of that. It must be measurable. Don't claim to have achieved a goal and yet you haven't quantified it. You haven't measured it. The idea again, when you come up with whatever, it is now particular with regard to the policy, when you come up with whatever policy or strategy, it must be specific. It must just not, hey, we want to achieve what, and you must be specific for what you want to achieve. There must be clarity in your write-up. There must be a reliability. Because sometimes you come up with an idea and you want to market it to the rest. It must be reliable. It must be acceptable. It must be simplicity. It must be very simple. Don't come up with something very critical that people do not even understand because you want to tell them that you went to school. Who told you that they haven't to go to school as well? Be simple. Inclusivity. Every element you want to be addressed must be there. Then flexible. Why flexible? It's because we are living in the changing world. The decision of today to solve this particular problem, it might tomorrow might have moved. Therefore, there must be an element of flexibility. Without losing sight of what you want to achieve. You know, in the military, when you want to hit a target or to destroy a target, we send reconnaissance, they look at the target, they report, but they must keep watching whether the target is moving from where it was located first. You might end up destroying a target without nobody because enemy has moved. It's the same flexibility that those whom you send for recognize they spotted the enemy was here. But now is here. Why should you have to go to the target which you know? You have your people telling you that enemy has moved here. That's the flexibility I'm talking about. I like some of this. As leaders, we have our leadership guru here, Saki Nicodemus. That is what he said. You have the leaders here. We have leaders around here We have those of you who are going to become leaders tomorrow. It's only that tomorrow sometimes that doesn't come, but it will come. So, meaning, the moment you have accepted to become a leader, the moment you have become, you have decided or you have accepted to become a leader, you have already made yourself a prime candidate for all kinds of challenges. I think Prof here is not studying, but he's engulfed by so many challenges because he's a leader. Some are his, some are yours. He doesn't choose to say, mine only, yours. The moment he decided to become a leader of this institution, he has already made himself a prime candidate for challenge. They cannot escape that. And so it will happen to all of you, and sometimes it has already started happening. Then, I think he has already, some of them have already tested the water. Some of you are still coming. But there's an understanding in astronomics that the most difficult part of anything is when you are beginning. Students here, they might find it very difficult because they are just coming or they just came in. But as the time goes on, they will say, apparently things are not difficult. It's the same with astronomy. The most difficult time when you want to lift up that flying object, that's where the danger is. But the moment you are up in the sky, you will find these boys are playing cards. The demo thing is left to autopilot. It's left to autopilot. They are playing cards. Therefore, as students now, don't find things to be difficult now. It is just a beginning. As you go, you will realize you are one of the graduates. Don't say it's too difficult, apparently. And sometimes you can even go to the extent that, I think this college is too difficult. No. All institutions of higher learning, that's how they are. Don't change. You will get things more difficult because the moment you move there, others have moved. You might end up getting into trouble. There's something I like that I will come. I'm talking to leaders, whether now or tomorrow. Early 60s, that's 61. During that time, it was the time of what we call Cold War. When there was a clear line, this part is for America and their allies. This part is for Soviet Union and its allies. There was a stiff competition. Who must be superior to the other? Early 60s, Nikita Khrushchev, who was the president of Soviet Union, as it were, because of the competition, he sent Yuri Gagarin to go around, to orbit around the globe. When Americans realized that he did so, they were caught by surprise. How come our enemy, or rather our opponent, is ahead of us? By that time, it was President Jeff Kennedy of America, and they said, my people, we are lagging behind. We must send a man to the moon. They have gone around, we must go up to the moon. It's a competition. And it's a competition that made the things to happen even up to today. He was then asked, why to the moon? He was asked, why to the moon? There are so many places we can go. Why to the moon? Kennedy, Khrushchev, I don't think whether he was an engineer, he was a what, he was just a politician. Kennedy the same. But they made that decision to say, Kennedy said, Then, when he was asked, why to the moon? That's what he said. Kennedy said, because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. He knows why he must go to the moon, because he wants to measure the energy and the skill of his country. It was not for him to go up to the moon. He might not even know how to go there or how to, someone must go to the moon. It is up to people, and that is sometimes which is lacking. The professor said, this must happen. Sometimes you don't interpret. And the moment you don't interpret what the professor said, you will not achieve. This was an interpretation. Our president wants us to go to the moon to measure our energies and the skills. He must have reasons why does he want that. So about the leadership I'm talking about, which you are all obeying, because you are not here to say you just want to after study, then you want somebody to be on top of you. You want also to become leaders, to direct you to do this and that. That's what Kennedy said. He didn't end it there. And there might be the whole idea there that he knows it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that will give results. He goes further. It is a challenge that we are willing to accept. Some of us, we don't like a challenge. The moment you realize that there's a challenge, you don't want to accept that challenge. And I have already said, Saki Nicodemus already said, the moment you have accepted it to be a leader, you have made yourself primary candidate for challenge. He knows it was a challenge, but it was a challenge they are willing to accept. He knows it was a challenge. We are unwilling to postpone. Some of us will like postponing, as if the problem will go away. The problem will not go away by way of postponing. It will mount. It might be a small problem, but the moment you postpone it and you postpone, it will grow. He said, is the challenge we are unwilling to postpone. And it is a challenge we intend to win. That's a leader speaking. Where are Americans today? They are all over up in the sky. They are no longer talking about the moon. They are talking about the Jupiter, Mars, and all the rest. They have mastered going to the moon. Because one single leader has spoken. And the people have taken that and owned it and said, the president has spoken. Why professor cannot speak and we all do? Staff and students. If it was possible by Americans, why not by Namibians? I moved further. Still my concentration on that. I might not do much of what you want me to do, but I'm trying to sharpen you so that you know as you go from this graduation, you must be able to understand what is expected of you. As a leader, that's what a leader is expected to do. A leader is about doing something is missing, doing the right things. Leadership is about doing right things. How do you understand a leader doing the right thing? What it means is, the majority of you are parents, some of you are students. Let me talk more of the students. Your parents have made the right thing by sending you here. That's the right thing they have done. The right thing the institution has done is to say, we have created this institution for higher learning. That's the right thing they have done. But the next what's expected of the management? The management is to do things right. You know, these are just same words having been placed around, placed at different places, but they don't have the same meaning. But the right is there, the doing is there. But these are words that they have been placed at different places to have to give it a different meaning. Now, I said, parents, the institution has made the right thing. It is now up to you, students, to do things right. Because your parents will not come and sit in the class to be able to do things right. It is you who must be sitting in the class and do things right. If you don't do things right, you will fail, and you will fail your parents. But don't say, in any case, a parent is not only me who will fail, also my parents. Is that what you want? Do you want your parents to fail? Do things right. Your parents have done the right things. Let me. Oh, no, okay. As a leader, having made yourself a prime candidate of challenge, you must have the capability and ability to deal with all kinds of volatiles, all kinds of problems. Must be able and capable of dealing with all types of turbulences. You must always be vigilant, keeping your eyes on the horizon so that you understand what is going around you. As a leader, you must be able to inspire. Some leaders, they don't inspire. And inspires when people say, wow, I wish it could be me. You are inspiring them. I wish I could be Elizabeth. She is such a good leader. A leader must be able to inspire. The moment you realize you don't inspire anybody, you are not a leader. It's like when you see yourself moving around and start looking behind, nobody's coming, then you are just moving around. You are not leading. A leader must have followers. Leader must have followers. Innovate. You must be innovative enough. You must develop others. And I think at the institution, whether you accept it or not, they have invited me to try to share what I have as a part of development. There are some people who have this fear of developing others. Because they think the moment they develop you, it is as if something is taken away from him or her. Develop others. And by developing others here, you produce more leaders and managers. You're a single person, but you might end up having a group of qualified, capable leaders. Don't suffer from this phobia that if I do this, that's why even sometimes, we have even some leaders who do not want to surround themselves with the capable others. Because they have that phobia. If people will notice that this institution is developing, they will say, it's because of him. It's not because of me. Why not you? Why him? Of course, there's a need for focus. Something up there, which I also like very much, before I talk about this development. When you see there, they said the management is getting people to want to do what needs to be done. Management is to do make others do what needs to be done. While the leadership is about to do people to want. As a leader, people must have that want to do what they must do. The difference there again, the other ones is to do what they must do. The other is for people themselves to say, we want to do that. In the military again, don't bother with being a military again because, that's my profession. And the one says general, always a general. In the military, we used to make at different levels, not when I am a general, but at a lower level a bit, they will make always others what we call chicken parade. When they wake up in the morning, they pick up every piece of whatever around you say. But sometimes they don't do it on themselves. But somebody must make them want to do that. But as we go up, some of us, I don't need to be told. I must have that want because I'm in charge. The last part, you may not see it clearly, but I also like it. During 1991, during the Gulf War, you might ask, what is the Gulf War? I'm not here to explain all those nitty-gritties. During the Gulf War, one American general called Schwarzkopf, he was in charge of all the forces that were deployed, the Western forces that were deployed there. It's not an easy thing. It's like when you are the chief of the defense force, you have troops deployed in Katima, Walvis Bay, Karasberg, wherever. But you are sitting in the window, but you must fully understand the behavior of your soldiers. You are the one who is in charge. Now, this general, he has been very good in combat during the warfare. But he's very useless when there's no war. That's what he has been. Now he said, one of the challenging problems of leadership has realized is to get people to willingly do which they ordinarily wouldn't have done. As a commander, you must people, as a professor, as in charge, you must also make these people to willingly do what they couldn't have done if they were on their own. And the students, you must not do it deliberately to say, he will come and make us do things that wouldn't have been done. That's not the message I want to put across. But he is in charge. And you can now imagine in the really situation of war. But the general realized that's the most difficult moment to make people to willingly do. Willingly do. In any fact, it's true. If it is what you not willingly do, how can you make soldiers to get into combat? Some will die, pull back, put them back again. You will say, no, enough is enough. And they will forget that to be a military, that's a calling. To me, some of us, it's a calling. It's not a pleasure. It's a calling. Because once a soldier, two things can happen. I'm not talking about injuries. Two things can only happen. Either you kill or get killed. But how can you allow yourself to get killed if you are not committed? It needs a kind of patriotism. What we have started sniffing within the defense force, most of the youngsters, they don't join as based on the patriotism. They want to defend their country. They join because they know when you are there, you have got a salary. But the defense force is not about the salary. You better go for something for salaries. Defense force is for the defense, that the name says it all. It's for the defense of the country. We are the last strategy of our nation. The moment this nation is in trouble, we must stand there for the nation. Because what you are telling me is that once the salary has been stopped, you will stop as well. To be a good leader again, you must understand what is happening around you. You look at, you do your own SWOT analysis, which is very difficult in any case. SWOT analysis is about understanding your own strength. But what strength do you have as a leader now? As a student, what strength, where does your strength is as a student? Is it when you are in a group of your other colleagues? Is it when you are standing in the corner of one building somewhere there? Look at your strength. Look at your weaknesses. Some of us, if you ask me, where are my weaknesses? I would say, no, I don't have any. But I do. Can't you be a human being and you don't have some weaknesses? It's only that we always don't want to come open and say, these are my weaknesses. How can you address problems you do not know your weaknesses? After we have established about your strength, your weaknesses, you must now be able to identify what are the opportunities and what are threats to your strength and the weakness and the weaknesses and to your opportunity. What are those threats? Because you want to address a problem. As I brought in the element of opportunity, two things. Challenge, we are speaking about, they present themselves. Challenge, they do present themselves. But opportunities, they don't. It is you to sit down and say, what are the opportunities to this challenge? But as a human being, sometimes you have that problem. The moment you realize there are challenges, then you said, there's nothing I can do. Sit down and identify the opportunities to solve that challenge. Uh, I'm trying to come a little bit closer, particularly as students. Boys and girls. I want you to sit down. I know you are already sitting down. That's not what I mean. I want you to sit down and redefine yourself as a student. Redefine yourself, whether you are a boy or a man, or a girl. Understand yourself, who you are, during the course of study. There's one worry that I think has also started catching up with our society. That I think our society has done so much and so good to the girl child. But I think little is done to the boy child. My problem is, if we don't do the same or give the same to these people who will at one time live as a family, you are doing a disservice somewhere. How can you expect my son to do so good to your daughter while he was never educated about doing so good to your daughter? God is great. That's not me. Because with my wife, we don't see any parity. It's just as if we were all brought up in the same family. In any case, I think that parity will no longer come, because let me tell you that come August, we'll be in a marriage for 42 years. Who else will come between us? The two of us. You will just come and bump yourself in the wall, and there you go. But I think I must say, maybe my wife is lucky enough to have me. To have me as a boy child? Yeah, that's the point I want to talk about. If we don't educate our children the same way, we are doing a disservice to the future families. I think somebody said something there. Therefore, I'm talking about the redefining ourselves. Be it a boy or a girl. Where do we stand? How do we move forward? Because with our girl child, when they are proposed by a young boy, they simply say yes, without knowing who that boy is. And they know that this boy is not educated, not in terms of classes. Educated, he is not brought up in such a way that he might be able to take care of me. I'm not saying don't say no to them, but I'm just telling you that I think we really need to move into that direction so that our children, they must all have the same understanding. Why do we want them to have the same understanding under the class, and out there we don't want to be the same? The importance and the value of education. I think first we must say thank you to the family here, the rector and the queen here. when they came up with this, I think the first thing is not let us come up with something to make money. It was the question, let us make something to educate our people. And because they are giving, or do you want them to give it just for free? There must be a return as well. There must be a return. That's a wonderful, it's the first time I'm here. And when they've been talking about this college, I thought it was a room somewhere in the corner of a house. When I came here, I was so impressed. The lifts, the stairs, the classes, the students. I didn't hear you. But I think you have also made your contribution. The value of education. I've spoken it earlier, that I said I was not a failure at school. When I got my master's, it was 2007. At the age of 55. Why at the age of 55? I have already spoken that the environment was not good. Now today you have a good environment. Don't get your master's at that age, at my age. You have ample time to do now. You have ample time to do it now. Don't say, in any case, he did it while at 55, I will not do that. That will be a wrong message. And I haven't said this so. I have said so because my situation was different from yours. This country is independent now for 35 years. Education. We must value it. We must value it. It has a value on it. Education is about knowledge. It's about knowledge and skill. There's this academic non-exhausted debate. Is a leader born or made? Is a leader made or born? Mixed feelings. I'm made, I'm born. What made you to believe it's made or born? Maybe I must ask a quick answer. Why do you think a leader is born? First number one. No hand. Why a leader is made? Okay. Maybe I might take so much time so that tomorrow I may not give this a chance again of talking to you. But to me, from academic viewpoint, a leader can be born and can be made. And it can be complementary. Complement each other. I might be born as a leader, but the moment you have to send me to school to understand the whole environment, I will just remain a born leader who knows little about what is around him or her. Some leaders are from monarchy families. Well, any good. But to be from a monarchy family hasn't made you a qualified leader. It's just by blood. It's not to say you are a leader. A leader must have some temperament, some qualities, some whatever to say, hey, he's a leader. That's why we are talking here as students. That's why we are talking about the skill, the knowledge. That is a value addition again to your leadership, whatever as you were born a leader. You cannot achieve much as students if you are not disciplined enough. Even if you are made to say, do this, because you are indisciplined, you will always have that heavy heart, even by saying, why me? Discipline. Some of us, again, we are lucky enough. We held from the structures where possible, where we all must be disciplined enough. And the discipline is also one of the things that made us to survive in the actual combat. Why should we fail just coming to school on time, going to study when it's needed? What is the difficulty with that? While it was not difficult for me in combat. Discipline, it must be core as we are learning. It must be core. Discipline to understand what the lecturers are saying. Discipline to understand the laid down rules. Discipline, of course, to understand your colleagues. It's a useful tool. It's a useful tool. And of course, discipline started from home. Because you might find yourself in a different environment. You say, this is not how I was brought up at our home. We do whatever we feel like doing. Then you are at the wrong place. Education, I want to talk about a little bit. I'm not an economist. But we are part of that. Namibia today is a country which I think is blessed. We have been talking about, for example, oil and gas. Even while we were fighting in the bush, we thought Namibia is the oil. Now 25 years, 35 years, is when now people say the discovery is made. Who will be the ownership of this? It's you and me. And you cannot simply just take me from the kettle pot and you make me to come and manage oil and gas. I must have gone to school. You must open up now to understand, hey, some chances, some opportunities are coming. Where will I be placed in this kind of environment? Where will I be placed? I want to be part of the oil and gas. Of course, oil and gas, like in many countries, they will bring about so many challenges and problems. Because for big powers like America, I must tell you now, Namibia must now be marked in the map that oil and gas. Because they don't want to leave that to you. When we talk about the war in the Middle East, it's not necessarily about Iraq, Iran, it's because of the oil, because that region is not with a lot of oils. War there is not about America hating this or that. It's about to own that. I said in Namibia by now, it must be marked to say, Namibia is part of the map of what we want. That now must also be very look into again into even the security part of it. Our security clusters must also change because of that understanding of having the oil and the gas discovered in this country. But if it will work in our favor, well and good. Some parts of the world we started worried. I'm going to beg to my wife, who said oil and gas must be under her office. It's for strategic reasons. Because even in that field, it is where most people can simply be corrupted. Because it's so lucrative. Now people out there have started, even this place, even the oil and gas in that. I see. Because they wanted that thing to be somewhere there like all other ministries and all other departments. So that when you are there, you easily can be corrupted. And they don't want the things that is there, which they think is theirs, and they're not being corrupted. Students, take off your shoes. Oh, you have not started taking off your shoes. No, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. I want to say, be serious enough. Be serious enough. Take up the challenge. You have opportunities now coming on your way. During our days, during our early days, there were only two things available to blacks like you and me. Either you have to go to be a teacher or to be a nurse. Those were the only things available to some of us. The rest, there were no go area for blacks, particularly black like you. So, but today, doors are wide open for you to sit down and then make your own choice to say, I will go into this area for the development of my country. Maybe let me, before I forget, while I was talking around that, I think you might have seen something I think it never happened in this country before. There's instruction for the government departments, what offices and all the rest, to start this financial year to recruit those in different how do you call it? They know it much better. And also the internship, as well as the third one. Yeah, attachment is all about what they are three, but hey, who can help them here? So you are leaving yourself out because you are soon to be graduates and you don't know what's happening in your government. Because there's opportunity that you must get into the government office and what you have to get, and the government is taking care of that for you to get some skills and the knowledge I'm talking about. Instead of asking how many years of experience, no, I'm just from school. Now the chances there that you join the government here and there after your graduation, so that you have a space to say, no, I was attached to this ministry for 6 months. be able to compete in this world. Let us compete. Let us be able to get into the global market. One thing I realized, Namibians, either by simple don't understand, they like home. They don't like competing out there. But when you look around, you will find so many people who got opportunity here. I don't want to be misunderstood. The professor here is a Tanzanian, might be Namibian now, but he got the opportunity to go out until he established this institution for higher learning. That's the point I want to make. Queen, thanks so much you brought him. Yeah, and it's for a good cause. He's not a liability. He's not here as a liability to say what he's doing here. So, let us also go out there, compete with the rest of the world for the benefit of this world. I think this brings me to the end of my presentation. I was under instruction that I must talk to you, and I did, and I must have maybe a few minutes. Should you need some clarities, or you can even simply add, because clarities, questions must not only possibly directed to me, you can add. So, Prof, if I haven't done it the best, that's the best I could. Yeah, now might be pending a few questions if it's allowed, because I might have encroached into the time which was allocated for questions. But if there is any question, you want the clarity, why am I saying so, and all the rest, it seems that well, I don't see any hand up, but yeah, please, just move forward. So you are the first to fire. Yeah. Okay, maybe for others to hear, because otherwise they will end up repeating.
All right. First of all, thank you very much, sir. It was really impactful. My question: you mentioned something on the girl child. You said nowadays a lot is being done for the girl child, like incredibly good. My question is, what do you think should be done for the boy child?
That's good. What do I do? What do we do for the boy child? It must be the question for all of us. Now that we realize our boys are left behind. It may not necessary for me or for you and for you. It must be for us to say, now we have realized that our husbands to be, not my husband. Now we will end up saying, oh, apparently he's a husband to be. But they are our husbands for our children. Now we realize there is a gap. How do we fill up that gap? You know this office where I am now. one interesting thing, you don't need to go to school to become a first lady or to become a first husband. You don't need to go to school. You will only be qualified by your spouse. The moment your spouse become a president, then you become that. I haven't gone to school to be what I am today. The other thing is that this office, I must want to make it clear, is an office which normally, its programs are not sponsored by the government. It is you, as currently with me now, once I have put up the structure to go around and then knock at your doors, maybe also the door, and say, please, if you can drop me some few coins there. Yeah. And it's those coins that will help now you to implement some of the program you have identified. The boy child. I want you to be part of me because I know it's my, how do you call it now? It's my, yeah. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be biased. It's only that because really they are left behind. If I will get some coins, I may be able to, possibly one day to come together here again, and they will not generalize, we'll just talk about, and they must be together because finally they will be the same family. You don't need to be separated like has been separated. There has been a separation of boys. Boys go to wherever, girls come here. Then maybe we can now come together and say, well, you boys and girls, what do you think? And then we start from there. So, my friend, I may not give you really the proper answer, but that is the whole idea that if I can get some coins, I want to make it that as a part of my program while I'm there. Any further? Yes, my sister there. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Hello, first gentleman. My name is Rana Abner. My question to you is, as the first gentleman of the Namibian nation and a proud, proud husband of Menetumbo Nandindaitwa, how... My question to you is, you spoke on leadership. How does one help another leader get out of a rut? Let's say, as a leader, I am stuck. I'm feeling that there's no other option. How does another leader encourage me or help me get out of the rut that I am in?
Do you mean generally, or are you meaning because you started with my family? So generally, if I got your question very well, there are times when human beings are praying for others to fail. Praying for others to fail. They don't want others to lift up. That possibly goes to what I said earlier, that we must have that kind of situation to help each other in order to multiply. I didn't make use of the word multiply. As a leader, and I've been doing it that way even while I was the chief of the defense force. I used to talk to my officers for them because I want everyone to come up so that when I leave, there must be somebody capable. And there's also this understanding that, in the world, if you want to test a leader, it's not the moment he is there or she's there. It's after he has or she has left. It's when you look at that, yes, there was a leader here. There was a leader here. So, meaning, if one could identify one's problem, we must not shy away from helping each other and lifting ourselves up. We must not. Must not. That's why I talked about the phobia. Some people have that phobia and that have that fear. The moment they are part of my office and they know how brilliant they are, they will think, I will think, if I will commit to them, if I will say do this and that, people out there will not say, it's not Denga, it is him or her or her. What's wrong with that? But eventually in the leadership, you must surround yourself with people who are capable of helping you. Because in any case, if there will be a credit, it will be yours. It will be yours. So, I think that's that. Any further? Yeah, my friend.
All right. I want to go back to the first speaker who spoke about the boy child. I've lost 3 classmates, boy children, because they died of not being able to speak up with their academic issues and also back home issues. So as you said, you want to knock at people's doors. I want to invite you to my door as well as our company to also curb the same problem together as far as, and empower the boy child once again. We are collaborating with the college and we are going to make things come out well.
Thanks so much. Boys, are you listening? Are you following? Commitment has already started. Thank you very much, my brother. Obviously, I will do that. Meanwhile, we are just trying, like I said, just to come up with the structures, what specific areas you want to address, and all the rest. And thereafter, the knock will start. Any further? Thank you very much indeed, my brother. I realize the most clapping of hands is now from the boys.
Good afternoon. Firstly, sir, I just want to say thank you so much for making time out of your busy schedule to come to our school. Really appreciate it. I made a lot of notes, and I just want to say thank you so much. And my question goes like this. Being a retired Lieutenant General Commander, now what were the leadership or management challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them?
One first challenge to be the first gentleman. They think that it's a few on this planet Earth where you have people refer to first gentlemen. That's one challenge. And you know, in the office where your first gentleman is, they operate differently. There's no set structure. You don't inherit structure. Because you will come as a first lady, you will come with your own agenda and they do this and do this. When I will come, I will say, I think it's too much to the girls now, I must balance it now. It will be very difficult, honestly, to tell you the challenge, but life is full of challenges. But I have earlier said, without specifying them, I already earlier said, there are no challenges without opportunity. It's only that sometimes we don't go and seek where the opportunities are. We just look at the challenge and say, there are challenges. I'm still at this embryonic kind of stage, really, of identifying this and that. But I know, with the help of so many ideas, because now, even now, so many people with a good ideas, they have started knocking at my door. General, this is what we think. This is what. So now it's a question of digesting it now. It's now a question of digesting. Because, you know, they said you might have so much information to the extent that you might not even be able to sort them out. Because they were too many. I have started really receiving all kind of, and it's a question of now sitting down and say, well, I will not throw this away, but I will share of it. But this one might be for immediate action or for future. So, but that is, I have only identified, I told you that one basic one is a challenge is to be the first gentleman. I think, I think, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause to His Excellency. Let's all stand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just have one question. You can sit down. I have a few questions. You can sit down. I have a few questions. Who is inspired? Who is inspired after this talk? Okay, I have another question. Who wants to be, this is for the boy child, eh? Who wants to be in the future to be like His Excellency? The boy child. Okay, and my last question. Who is motivated to study harder? Beautiful. That means that is a true definition of true leadership. Thank you, Honorable. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Your Excellency, we will make sure that this is not your last time to visit Triumphant College. Thank you for gracing us. We are going to organize another beautiful event like this one. I know we don't have much time, but I want to ask our college choir to come and just give a beautiful song. A beautiful song for His Excellency, just to appreciate the job well done. He took his time, you saw it, eh? He took his time, he's a busy man, but he chose to give you everything from the history up to current, which means a lot to us. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Choir, please move fast. Choir, are you around? Where is the college choir? You are embarrassing me now. Okay, if you are not here, can you move fast, please? We do not have time.
Do not touch any buttons.
Thank you so much, choir. His Excellency would just want to highlight one more thing before we go to something else.
Because you cannot be lecturing and without putting students for a test. There's a test now. This test it depends on the communication. Communication is very critical in one's life. I might have been talking here for how many hours I cannot recall now, but if the communication was not proper, you will go back empty. Now, I want to test if I was listened to. And fortunately or unfortunately, I will not need any hand up. I will pick myself. And the moment I pick, if you give a right answer, the whole congregation has passed. Wrong answer, you all have failed. So just be patient enough and wait for the next. Now, like I said, oh, my sister, come. My sister in red, yeah. You are the first to make the class to pass or to fail. You said, what is your name again?
I'm Etuete.
Yeah?
Etuete.
Etuete. Okay, tell others. You are?
My name is Etuete, and
Etuete.
yes,
Okay, spell it for me.
Etuwete.
Have you passed or you failed? Okay, without wasting time, you all have failed. Because I didn't ask her to spell her name. I said spell it. It's IT. IT. Boy, you made the rest to fail. You all have failed? Last pass or fail, I will still pick, but I don't want to be discriminatory enough. The lady has made everybody to lose. Now it's a turn of my folk to make others pass this time. Boy child. Boy child. Have your head up, man. Why are you down? My friend, come here. Come make others, come make others to pass or fail. But you make a commitment to make others pass. It's a serious commitment.
Yes, sir.
My friend, tell me. Yeah, I've been looking at you while I was there. Hey, looks like a clever boy, eh? And tell me, from the look of things, what you are, and then what makes you young?
I came here to study, and
if you fail, I can get you down, and you have already failed.
oh, okay. I came here for a motivation seminar.
Okay, my friend, go sit down. But the whole class is the whole class is. You know, I'm talking about communication. Sometimes in a normal situation, we communicate it that way. Again, might be going to where I grew up in the military again. When we communicate through radios, you always want, when you send a message, you ask your colleague on there, repeat. Because you want to make sure that the message you have sent is the same that has been received on the other side. I asked what makes you young. What makes you young, because I don't want to eat any people's time again, if you add N-G to you, it becomes young. That's the word. You cannot have young if you don't add if you don't add N and G to you, what makes you young? That means, are you with me now? I was not even interested on your age.
Thank you, Excellence. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. SRC, can you please just come forward, those representing to SRC, just to have their remarks to His Excellency for gracing us with this beautiful occasion. You guys look beautiful. Let's give them a round of applause. Wow. Wow. Thank you. They are going to just give some remarks. Who's the spokesperson? President? Okay.
All right. I would like to highly recognize the presence, Lieutenant General Dengan Daitwa. As the SRC team, my name is Emilia Johannes, and we would like to thank you so much for the motivation motivation and for the lesson you have given us today. We highly appreciate it, and I know that half of us learned something, or most of us have learned something, and are gonna take it far. But we don't wanna leave you without saying thank you. We don't want to just say from our mouth the word thank you, but we wanna give you a token of appreciation. We have some small gifts here that we would like to present to you and why we are giving it to you. Okay, here we have a pen as one of our gifts to you. Thank you. Okay, the reason why we're giving the pen is because as a soldier knows the weight of a weapon, but the leader knows the power of a pen. May this, let me show you the pen. It's very beautiful. May this one draft the next chapter of Namibia. Second of all, we present you with a notebook. The reason why we're presenting you with this notebook is because every battle plan starts on paper. Consider this your next mission. Inspire us all as you did today. Use it for strategy, speeches, and reminders to make and to take a well-earned break, because you really need it. And then we have a flask. In your battle, you always have to drink water. The reason why we're giving this flask is for the strengthen. Even the strongest commanders need reinforcement. May it keep you refreshed as you continue serving our unwavering determination. And finally, the most important gift that we would like to give you is we come from a place of God and a house of the Lord. We would like to present to you the most important book of Triumphant College, which is the spiritual book that we would want to give you. The reason why we're giving you this book, thank you. The reason why we want to give you this book refers to spiritual insight in the welfare of the past, the present, and the future. It is a source of guidance, strength, and reflection. May the Lord bless you with wisdom and inspiration as you continue to lead with purpose, and may the Lord bless you. Once again, with all the gifts we bear for you and give to you, we would like to appreciate your presence and your excellent leadership. Thank you.
Powerful. Thank you.
I forgot the box. The box, as a soldier, is a retired general. I know you like to keep things neat, so we kept it in a neat box, closed up for you for protection. So I hope you enjoy it.
You know, really, I have no idea that I was doing this for any price. I thought I was just doing it for, what is the proper word now in this case? Yeah, apparently there are so many words, because the words you are saying now, they are different, but you mean it, we mean that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my young ones. With 3 boys represented here only. So that is how the situation of many boy. Now, Prof, this prompted me to also to. You mentioned about. Because I authored 2 books. I published 2 books. But one thing with the writing in this country, you produce, people will read on the cover and say, it must be a good book, but they don't buy. I still have so many copies collecting dust to my place. Prof, what I want to say is, I will make a donation of 30 books. $15 each. Yeah. As the Queen was be able to knock at my door when I'm coming, she must also be able to knock at my door when am I delivering your book. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, Excellency. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. As we are coming to the end of our program, which has been so beautiful and powerful, I wish we started earlier. I'll ask Dr. Oakhazen to just come and give some closing remarks and a vote of thanks. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. Thank you very much, the organizing committee, that you had chosen me to do the closing remarks. Good afternoon, Triumphant College. Then I would like to add, I was guided that certain words we had to use, we mustn't go offline. But Your Excellency, I would like to begin with, as strategist and compatriot, that is Lieutenant General, retired, and also our first gentleman of the Republic of Namibia. We are very grateful that you are in our midst and that you haven't refused or have other excuses not to come and visit us. We appreciate it very much. Then distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and I would also like to observe all protocols. As we come to the close of this memorable occasion, it is with deep gratitude and sincere appreciation that we extend our heartfelt thanks to His Excellency, the First Gentleman of our Republic, for honoring us with your presence today. We have learned a lot, and your motivational speech or address was very encouraging. Your visit has not only brought great pride to our institution, Triumphant College, but also has inspired us with your words, your wisdom, and your unwavering support for education, research, and community development. In research, you had indicated to us that you are a master holder, so you are a researcher. And then also you had written 2 books, and in writing good books is to do research. So in that you also had contributed to this country. Your engagement today has reminded us of the critical role we all play in shaping the future of our nation through unity, innovation, and collaboration. We hope this visit marks the beginning of a continuing relationship, and we assure you of our commitment to uphold the values you so passionately champion. May your journey ahead be safe, and may your efforts to uplift our society continue to bear fruits. We appreciate your unwavering commitment, and we are so glad that Namibia for a long time the military had been in your hands, because now we can see why we had been for so long a peaceful country, and that our military was doing the best they could do. Once again, Your Excellency, the First Gentleman of this country, we would love to appreciate your time, your words, and your leadership. We want to thank God to bless you, and we want God to bless Triumphant College, and we want God to bless this beautiful country, Namibia, land of the brave. I thank you.
Your Excellency, we can't stop thanking you for gracing us today, but whatever is good always comes to an end. And we're glad that we had this opportunity. I encourage you, students, management organized this event for you to encourage you to study harder and be able to know that you can be able to become the first gentleman someday. Thank you so much. Shall we all stand as we do our anthems? And I'll ask at the end of the anthems, Kudachipati, so you come and pray for us as we close.
To defend our liberty.
shall remain standing as we get our close prayer.
Let us close our eyes and pray. Our kind and loving Father in heaven, we thank you for the program that you've been with us this afternoon. We are asking again for your guidance and leadership as we are filing out. Bless each and every person that has been part of the program. Meet all of us at our points of needs. This is our humble prayer, knowing that you will be with us from today till forever. Amen.
Thank you. We shall remain standing while the protocol is going out. I think let's just give them a round of applause as they go out. Thank you. You have been a beautiful audience. Have a beautiful day.